Hello, and welcome to the second of our Climate Week Northeast presentations, Young People, Actions Speak Louder Than Words, where today we're going to have a look at movies, artists, and baristas. This is one of a number of activities we're running through this week, and you'll see them on the screen here in association with partners whose logos are also on the screen. As well as the links to climate, all of the sessions link in to aspects of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child and the Sustainable Development Goals. We're going to have a look at two case studies today. First one involving movies, artists, and baristas, and there's a short presentation on that we'll have a look at. This was a film screening that was done in the Bankery Barn on the 29th of February. It involves schools, 6 schools from across Aberdeen City and Aberdeenshire. That was the format of the day. The morning largely spent watching a film called Finite, quite a provocative film that had been chosen from a short list of 3 films chosen by a focus group of young people. Felt it was the more provocative of the 3. There's then time to reflect on the emotions of the film, bit of free time then, and then an activity through the afternoon led by an artist. The youngsters could share develop their ideas, share those with each other, the view to taking them back to school to take further action. So the barn, if you haven't been at it, really good space for arts and culture. Youngsters sitting passively there in the morning to watch the film. As the day went on, we then wee bit of a chat from the artist before showing the film, and then straight into that. Film raised a number of emotions and a number of feelings, so we a wee bit of time dealing with things, whether it was anger, whether it was anxiety, whether it was disappointment, frustration. All of those we sort of worked in a little activity, head, hearts and hands activity before lunchtime, and then we broke into the school groups. Once they were into the school groups, they really were free to take the stimulus of the film into whatever sort of way, shape, form they wanted. The basic brief was to prepare a poster that you could use on their return to schools. Some of the teachers got heavily involved, as you'll see in the bottom middle picture. Others left the group largely to get on with it themselves. And there was just a range of resources and a couple of artists involved in going around and chatting to groups and getting them to articulate what they were working on. There, at the end of the day, they presented their ideas and shared their ideas, and you'll see there some of the variety of posters that were emerging. Interestingly, it bounced, a couple of them had worked as spies and gone and seen other people's ideas and brought those back to their own groups. You'll see how very different they are. Some of them stand up and are 3-dimensional. Some give contrasts of a bright future or a dark future. Others just a much more hopeful picture all round. And the plan then is for them to take back their ideas and extend them into a wider school population. One thing we did mention through the day was the link across to the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, in particular the views of children, their thoughts coming out freely, and access to information about health, water, food, and their environment. So that was Actions Speak Louder Than Words at Bankery Barn. Second activity we're going to look at through today's session is the barista event, which involved Caper Coffee, and I'll point to that. Actually, for that one, we developed our own website, mini microsite, and I'm showing you that as a way through the sort of information that schools got. This is a way to help the schools to keep on track coming up to the event and share some of the activities from the event. There's a poster made up with that. Is Mary Cooter House Hotel and Caper Coffee were were heavily involved in it, as were the DYW team from Aberdeenshire Council, Aberdeen City Council, and Aberdeenshire Council. Schools had access to a pre-event presentation. I'll just quickly go through that. There's the schools that were involved. The programme for the day, the venue, how we're running the day, judging sheets. There was an audience vote as well. A whole lot of different sections to what we're doing. And you'll see in amongst it reference to fair trade and to sustainability. Really, the idea here is to try something a bit different for those youngsters who may not come into the conversation straight away or in an obvious way. They'll lean into the conversation through an activity such as making coffee and baristas. And so it allows you to get into a whole lot of things about circular economy and so on, and fair trade. Really try to encourage also links across to the world of work, and then bringing along invited guests from local businesses, for example. There were a range of prizes, so no school went home empty-handed, and there was support available to them through some teacher professional learning. Timetable for the day pretty much arrived by about 10 o'clock, and then got going with it. And the judging was early afternoon, and the presentation prizes thereafter. A bit about the venue, a bit about the judging criteria. Schools got a lot of information in advance, including covering letter, risk assessment, permissions for photographs, and so on, and the risk assessment from the hotel itself. And as I say, it involved quite a number of groups in terms of the sponsorship of the event. So that really was the quick summary of Caper Coffee. There's one other thing I wanted to show you on that website, and that was, for example, what the schools put on. I'll just let you see the feedback from one of them. I'll pick the Gordon schools here. You'll see that they've got examples of some of their latte art. They've got the examples of their menu. They've got the different infographics about the different kinds of coffee, their playlist, and also section relating to fair trade and the circular economy. So that really was a summary of the Barista event. It was well publicised. I'll just let you have a quick look here at the press release that ended up going into the Grampian Chamber of Commerce. Really good piece there relating to the event. And you'll see the large number of pupils involved in that, pupils who would not normally have discussions about fair trade, about sustainability. So this sort of activity we see as being a helpful way to reach other sort of groups that you wouldn't get through the conventional curriculum. So there's a couple of examples. There's others on show later in the week through what we're doing. Please join us for any of those. If you miss them, they'll be available on our YouTube channel. And also, if you want to give us any feedback on the events we've been running in Climate Week Northeast, please let us know. And that's really all for now.